Hey guys, so in this video, Aaron here from Technogym. In this video, we're going to walk you through adding in like generic booking things. So some good examples would be a body scanner or a sauna, maybe some compression leggings, these sort of things that you want to have a bookable service for your members on, but don't necessarily relate to a single kind of person. So it gets a little complicated here, but if you follow through the steps carefully, I'm sure you'll be able to keep up. So the first thing we need to do is basically for every, let's say, item or every thing that we want to have its own booking calendar, we need to create a staff member. So let's start with the example of the body scanner. So the body scanner itself can be kind of bookable in two ways. It can be like a reception task. So what I mean by that is you don't necessarily want to tie down a personal trainer to have to go and do that with someone. Instead, you just want to have the reception staff walk the customer through the scan. But you don't necessarily want to have a particular reception staff. It just needs to be someone that might be available at reception at the time. So what we do is we go ahead and create this staff member here. So I like to use the first name and the surname as gym staff. Then what you want to do is make sure that this particular, when you're doing these kind of body scans or inductions or things like that, that you just want the reception staff to do, make sure that the email you use is the email of the club. So let's say, as an example, if you were a particular branch, so let's say we had Auckland at technogym.com, and that email really needs to be accessible by a lot of the staff. And then you would also have that particular email address logged into in your My Wellness CRM and sitting at your desk or your reception desk. The reason we do that is just so that we can see the live bookings as they're there. So what we want to go ahead and do from here is, once we've added this staff member in, at this point the most important things is the email and the name. Obviously it's going to ask you to add in the date of birth and the gender as well. They're not super important, but they need to be added. Then we want to shoot over to the public profile. Now keep this really simple. If you have the public profile here showing just an image, so it's obviously just gym staff or reception staff, so keep it pretty simple. It could be a picture of your team, maybe even a logo, something along those lines, keeping it really simple. And we just use the same image in each of these. And where this is going to present itself is like this. So an example would be when they book in to a Technogym checkup, they would be presented with the options of available staff, just to say gym staff. And as it gets through into the profile of that particular staff member, it will just say gym staff like this. And it's nice and easy for the member just to click on check availability. So that's what we're seeing here. Now, we don't need to worry about motto. We don't need to worry about skills certificates. I like to put something in the biography just so it shows up in here. You can even put some instructions at this point as well. So if you had some specific instructions about the service or things like that, it might say show up 10 minutes early. Anything like that can be added at this point. Perfect. So once we've added these, all we need to do then is go ahead and add available time to the calendar. So we click down on the calendar tab here, and we jump into the show availability tab, and we would add in the time as the reception staff. So whatever time you think you want to make available for this, add it in. And a final point that I didn't cover actually is, back in this permissions and notifications tab, I added this staff member as a reception role. Now that's really important thing to consider here, and I will show you why right now. So you would have noticed in this picture here that I showed, this is the service that we want to have booked in. So we've created this service. Now, if you remember the other videos we created, to create a service, we go into the automation button and we head into the activities button and we go down to find Technogym Checkup. And we can see Technogym Checkup here. We've made it green. So the same way as we were looking at the personal training services, we have the picture that's being represented here. We have the name that's being represented here. We've got the abstract information that's being represented here and the description that's being represented here. We have then the duration, and this is where that reception role really comes into play. So obviously we want to make sure in this particular case that only the gym staff time is made available for this service. So if we didn't have reception and instead we left it as all roles, what's going to happen is all of your staff member are going to pop up in this particular screen. They're all going to pop up down here, which is not what we want to happen. We simply want this one staff member or one generic staff member to show up. So to do that, again, selected roles, add a role, go down to the receptionist because that's how we configured the staff member. And we're going to add in that gym staff. Cool. All the other features are basically the same as the personal training services that we set up in the last videos. The same max number of participants. In this case, actually, I want to change that to 1. It's a 60-minute service. You can change that to what you think. And again, the booking interval. For these kind of tasks, I like to keep this relatively far apart. So even if you've got a 15-minute duration, it's good to keep it on 60-minute intervals so you don't get booked back to back to back to back. It just gives you a breather in between at those busy times. Awesome. So once you've created the service, we have the staff member or generic staff member in this case. The next step is to go ahead and add this into the app. So super easy, just like we added in the other ones, we go into the configuration, we go into customization, and we go down into the Technogym app. And what you're going to notice is if we go to that facility area again, we're now going to see that exact same image here. So this was just some screenshots I took, but this is how it looks on the preview. And we're looking at this here, which I already added. You guys already know how to add a service in by clicking on this new section. I added it in already just to keep the video speed nice and quick. But if we look at how I've built it, again, I've put the header in. Because there's only one service, it doesn't show the header, which is what we want it to do. We have it on the list view and it's extra large. We can change it if we wanted to make it smaller or larger depending on the way that you want it to look. And we've clicked done. Awesome. So that's adding a generic task where there is the one group of, or the one generic booking slot that you want to have. Now the next booking slot, generic booking we want to create is going to be for a sauna. So you'll see down here there's a sauna booking, and this is again a little bit different, and I've made it different on purpose. So the way that this works is, in this particular example, I've created multiple saunas. So if you've got one service but multiple options, so you've got, the booking is for a sauna, but you've got multiple options on saunas, so you have 2 saunas in this case, you need to create a generic staff member for each. Okay, so let's go and have a look at what this looks like inside the app here. So I'll go from the home screen just to make it nice and simple. We go over to the People tab, we click onto the Staff Members tab, and we can see here the 2 saunas. Now take note, I've made these roles as maintenance. As you know, the role is really important when you're trying to ensure the right staff are available on each service. And let's just have a quick look and click into the way I created it. So Keeping it nice and simple, sauna 1, this just makes it really easily identifiable for your members. We've got the email address here. That needs to really be a proper email address that you create specifically for the service. You also will need to add in the gender and the age, but those aren't important, and they won't be visible, nor will this be visible to any members booking. Again, just take note that I've created these under maintenance, and the public profile I've made look similar to this. So let's open up that public profile so you can see what it looks like. Cool. So first things first is this image here, again, is represented here. All right. Then we have this image here, which is represented by this image here. And again, this one is represented by this image. And as you can see, just to make it, show some information, I put some information about a sauna under the biography. And I've put some, things that the sauna does under skills. As you can see, it just kind of makes it look nice and easy and gives the member some information. If we go down, so this is just swiping down a little bit. I've put under the motto, relax and enjoy. You can see here. If you want to, you can have this the way that you want to have it. You might want to put some pricing in there, whatever it may be, some more information. But this is just how I've chosen to do it. So that's sauna 1, and you'll notice that I've built sauna 2 in exactly the same way. So again, sauna 2, another email address. If we go through, I've made them look exactly the same. However, the only difference is that this sauna 2. So this would probably be on the door or something like that of your sauna, and members would know that they're booked into sauna 2. Perfect. Now the final step is the available time. So again, we want to go ahead and add that available time in there, show availability. Now, if you've got here 9:30 till 3:30, some people might think that the last booking starts at 3:30, but actually no, the availability is until 3:30. Which means that if it's a 30-minute service, the last booking that you'll be able to book will start at 3. So some people get a little bit confused on that fact, so I just want to clear that out. So if it's available until 3:30, the last booking will start at 3 and will occupy that last 30 minutes of available time. Awesome. So once you've got your 2 staff members, again, please take note that we've made them as maintenance staff for the purposes of this. We head over into the automation tab. We head over into the activities tab, and we're going to make this sauna tab now. So this is the service that we want to have booking. If we go down through here, you'll see I have the sauna tab. If we click in, we can start to see how the information is represented. So we've got this picture, as you can see. We've got the name, which is here. Relax and recover, shows here. And if we go through to the next step, so if we click on that sauna tab, it'll open up the sauna information, and you'll see the 30 minutes. You'll see the description information, and you can see that I've got again selected roles. I've added maintenance, and this time I've added both of the generic staff in, so both of them will show under available staff. If you had 3 saunas, you would add a third one. If you had 4, you'd add a fourth one. Again, the booking interval I've added for 30. Now you can change this if you want. You can have 60 minutes, you can have 45 minutes. If you want that buffer in between people using the sauna, you can, but you don't have to. Awesome. Now, if you have got a sauna that can take more than 1 person, you can add multiple contacts in here if you like as well. Also, take note that this is a blue task, which you'll see in the next video when we talk about management of the calendar. Awesome. So again, let's go back through now and add that booking to the app. So the way that we add it to the app, again, like all the other services, we go into the configuration. we go into the customization, we go into the Technogym app, and I've already added this in just for the speed of the video, but as you can see, if we go down, we can see that sauna tab there. To have a look at how we've configured it, we can click in. The header is sauna, but because we've only got the one service, it won't show that title. I've made this as a list view in the large tile, but equally it looks great in the extra large as well. I just try to keep it less busy sometimes. And we've added that sauna as the service list. So again, you would save and publish, and it would be available for booking on the app. Awesome, guys, that's how you book those generic services. It does get a little bit tricky when you are moving around these roles, but just remember, a really good rule of thumb is if you've got multiple items, you need multiple staff members or multiple booking slots, let's say, multiple staff members, generic staff members. You need to ensure that your role maintenance is the same on both of these booking slots. And you've got that reception staff. And remember that when you go into the activities, you'll notice that those roles correspond to the role that is available to book this service. Okay, so just keep that in mind. That's a point that people do get caught up on from time to time. Awesome, guys. So in the next video, I'm going to walk you through just day-to-day maintenance of operating the booking system from the My Wellness CRM and how that works.